There are many video games out there to please many different types of gamers. Whether you're into shooters, stealth, RPGs, or whatever the hell this is, chances are you'll find a number of games that pique your interest. Now that said, no matter what type of game you're interested in, there's one thing we all share in common: the backlog. The video game backlog is what we call the vast amount of games that occupy our minds and make us feel overwhelmed at the thought of whether or not we actually want to buy that new game we've been looking forward to, because we still didn't finish the games we already started. And even with that thought in mind, the final decision is always the same: one more game added to the list. Much like the back rooms, the backlog is something no gamer can escape from. And the harder we try, the more we find ourselves trapped by the endless amount of games we want to play. The reason for this is simple: there are always other games, and not every single one of them will keep us entertained enough to finish. The problem with the backlog arises from the space these games occupy, not in our shelves, but in our minds. Nothing feels worse than the feeling of something left unfinished. It's like if I play this. Yeah, annoying, isn't it? Unless you're a complete psychopath, something unfinished will bother you. Many of us learn to live with that. Some of us end up in an asylum, and some others attempt to complete that which is incomplete. For a small task or chore, that's simple enough, but for many reasons, a gamer's backlog is something that is almost never successfully tackled and completed, because majority of the time there are always more games added to it. Now, if you are someone who has managed to completely erase their backlog and then only play one game at a time till completion ever since then, congratulations, we have your location and we will find you. For all my other common folk out there that share this predicament of the ever-growing backlog, acting like it's the plant from Little Shop of Horrors every time you buy a new game.
Feed me! Does it have to be mine? Feed me! Where am I supposed to get it? Feed me, Seymour.
I feel your pain. Let me break this down for you in a way that'll help you with your endeavor. Video games are meant to be fun. Now, everyone's definition of what they consider fun may vary, but it won't change the fact that playing a video game, first and foremost, is meant to be fun. The backlog is a concept that shouldn't affect you because you'll probably add more than you remove. If you have a backlog, chances are you came across many games you either got bored with or you lost interest in, or were never really interested in to begin with, but someone bought it for you as a gift. You're under no obligation to finish any game, especially if you don't enjoy it. Then again, many of you are probably hearing this and thinking to yourself, well, this isn't what I wanted from this video. I wanted to know how to complete my backlog. Look, if it's really that important to you, then let's try this. List out all the games you have in your backlog and order them from the games you want to play the most to those you want to play the least. Then just play them. It's not a job and you don't have to finish any of them before a deadline. So try it. And by 3 months in, you'll probably realize two things. Number one, you're worn out from gaming or playing games you don't actually feel compelled to play in the moment. And number two, why are there more games than I started out with? If you don't realize even one of these two things, then again, we know your location. The bottom line is it's okay to not finish your games, and it's not something you should be worried about. If you are a content creator, whatever you play, chances are you're going to finish it. But majority of you are not content creators and you still find the time to worry about all the games you haven't finished or haven't completed and feel like you need to complete them before you buy a new game. And that's keeping in mind the fact that most adults who have jobs have very little time to actually play games. So why play a game that you don't enjoy? Play what you want when you want. It's up to you to decide what's fun for you and what's not. And one more thing. If you get stuck in a game and you want to look up a walkthrough or tips, don't be afraid to. There's no shame in it as long as you're enjoying the video game. Especially if it's really one of those obscure puzzles or parts of a video game where you feel like there's literally nothing you can do. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and check out this video. And also subscribe. I'd love to know in the comments if you actually keep track how many games are in your video game backlog, or how many did you drop. This is the first video for 2024 and I've got a lot more coming. So for now, have a good one.